to write HTML, and you are not going to save this like HTML. We generally save this file with, okay, we'll have HTML codes. We'll have HTML codes here. Okay, and we'll save this file with XSL. Save this file with XSL. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to have an XML file. We are going to have some XSL file. So what is this XML file and XSL file? We generally use this XML file. In the form of a small database. You're going to create a small database with the help of this XML. Database, and using this XSL or this HTML file, whatever you are using, you are creating a file. You're going to create the template for displaying this database. Okay, so we are going to create a template. You're going to create a template for displaying the data. Okay, so you're going to create two files. One is XML file and the other one is an XSL file. So what actually this XSL file contains, we'll have some HTML codes. So why we use this HTML codes to display the XML content in the form of a table. Not only in a table, in any table. So representing the XML content using HTML. This we generally call the concept as XSL. We generally call this as XSLT. So what is this XSLT? XML style sheet transformation. Okay, so we have two files. One is XML file and XSL file. This XML file contains database and this XSL file contains the template for displaying data. So what you're going to do is, let us assume in this XML file, let us assume we have a root tag. We have a root tag as catalog. We have a catalog, and you have a child tag, child tag, and the child tag is cd. So root is catalog and the child tag is cd, and we have some so ఇదేంటంటే మన దగ్గర ఒక నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ సిడీస్ ఉన్నాయి. ఆ సిడి యొక్క ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ని మనం ఒక డేటాబేస్ లాగా క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. So what is the information you are looking you are storing in an XML data is this. Let me show you. So this is the XML file you are writing. Catalog is the root tag and cd is the child tag, and in this cd we have this title, artist, country, company, price, and year. So these tags will explain information of one particular cd. So we'll take one more. అంటే మనకు అర్థమయ్యేలాగా చెప్తాం. So we'll take one more. So the title of this particular CD is what is the new movie? What is that movie name? కొత్తగా ఏం రా సినిమా ఏమొచ్చింది? K7. What is the new movie you have seen? K7. ఏదైనా కొత్త సినిమా పేరు చెప్పండి రా. What is the new movie? పవన్ కళ్యాణ్ ఏదో సినిమా వచ్చింది.
Vakil Sahab.
Yeah, Vakil Sahab. So you are storing a data like this. We and the artist is some Pawan Kalyan, and the country is India, and the company is like I don't know this company, Dilraju, some Anita Productions. And the price of this movie, the price of this movie or the budget of this particular movie, let us take it as 100 crores. 100, and the year is 2021. So this is how I'm storing the data of a different CD information. Okay. So this is one XML file you're going to create. This one XML file you're going to create. Is it okay? Can a doubt in you? Any doubt? Till here.
No, sir.
J8. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now what we are doing is, according to this. Oh, meeting కనిపించట్లేదు. Sorry. Sorry. So you're going to create this. You're going to create this XSL. You're going to create one XML file. In this particular XML file, you're going to create a small database, and our database is this. You're going to store the CD information like this. You're going to store a CD information like this. So we have already created this small database. Now, what is my plan? When I try to execute this program, so whatever, okay, let me tell you. So, so our task is we have to create XML style sheet transformation. So the first step is you have to create an XML file, and this XML file is nothing but creating a small database, and your database will looks like this. So we have created this CD, a catalog, CD, a title, artist, country, company, price, and year. So this is a small database we have created. So when I try to execute this program, so whatever I've written here, the same output you'll be getting. Same output you will be getting in this. So now what I'll do is I'll create one XSL file. So why I'm creating this XSL file is I don't want my data to look like this. Whatever I've written, I don't want to look like this. I want to look. I want to create a representation. The representation should be like this. I have to create one table. ఒక table create కావాలి నాకు. I have to create one table. సో ఎన్ని కాలమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఇక్కడ, ఎన్ని రికార్డ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఎన్ని ట్యాగ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, టైటిల్, ఆర్టిస్ట్, కంట్రీ, కంపెనీ, ప్రైస్, ఇయర్ ఇలా ఉన్నాయి. సో ఐ వాంట్ ఓన్లీ ఆర్టిస్ట్, title and price. I want only these three. So what I'll do is I'll create a table with only those names. I want the artist, okay, the name of the movie, the artist, and the year, whatever. నాకు ఇలా ఒక టేబుల్ క్రియేట్ కావాలి. ఈ టేబుల్లో I'm not going to give a static data. So whatever I have in my XML file, that XML file data, that particular XML file data, I have to transform that information to this particular table with the help of this XSL file. So ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుందంటే I think all of you know how to create this XML file, and I'll tell you how to create this XSL file now. So after creating this XSL file, what you have to do is you have to give a link up. So you have to link this XML file. You have to create this link to XML file and XSL file so that they communicate so that the communication happens, and the information of the database what we have stored will be transformed to this particular table. Sorry, table ela create aitadi. So that particular logic, we are going to write with the HTML tags. I think all of you know how to create a table. I think all of you know how to create this particular table in HTML. So that is the logic actually we were trying to do. So you are going to create a small database, and you are going to transform the entire information from XML data to HTML table with the help of a logic. And if you want to make a communication between an XML file and XSL file, you have to create a link between XML as well as the XSL file. Yeah. So okay. Is there any doubt, Ilya? Any doubts? Any doubts? So our topic for today is XML style sheet transformation. So for transforming the data from XML to in a tabular format, we generally create two files. One is XML file and XSL file. This XML file we are creating a small database, and this XSL file will create for a logic to display the transformed data in the format of a table. But not only table, in any format, however you want to represent the data, you can represent like that. So the first, this XML file is this. XML file is this. So we have created an XML file like this. A CD information. I have lot of CDs at my home. So what I want to do is I want to create a small database for the CDs available in my home. So I'll be creating an XML file like this. So the tag is catalog, the root tag is catalog, and the child tag is CD. And inside CD, I have number of tags I have or elements I have like title, artist, country, company, price, and year. So మనకు అర్థం కావడానికి I have written this. The title of my CD is Working Job, artist Pawan Kalyan, and country India, some company name and the price of that particular movie, in which year it was a year low. That is the information we have stored in a record format or an XML format. Okay, I think there is no issue with this XML file. Now let us see how to create a table for three rows. So we have lot of information here, lot of records here, title, artist, country, company, price here. I don't want all. I don't want all of them to display in a table. I want only title, artist, and price. Only ఈ మూడే కావాలి నాకు. For that, what I'll do is I'll create an XSL file. Okay, here you could able to see this cd.xsl.xml and undi. This is not the way. You have to save this as cd.xsl. You can save it with any name. CD ane kaadu, with any name you can write. But the extension of an XSL file. But the extension of this particular XSL file should be .xsl. సో ఇక్కడ నాకు ఏమవుతుందంటే సబ్లైన్లో నాకు అలాగా .xml అనేది ప్రీడిఫైన్డ్ వస్తుంది. But the execution we'll see in W3 scripts, not a problem. So let me explain you this. Yesterday I think only few of you have attended. So today I'll be asking questions. Those who are not answering, I am not going to give you any attendance. I'll simply put you in a waiting room. ఇక్కడ attendance రాకపోయినా I can write exams. Yes, you can write exams, not a problem. But you cannot write my lab exams. Okay. So XML version 1.0 and encoding UTF-8. This is the first line we write for both XML as well as XSL. The same prologue you can write. This is not actually mandatory, but this is a good practice of writing the prologue. After that, in yesterday's class, I have taught you what is XML namespace. Why we have to write XML namespace. So in this particular file, I have HTML tags. And in addition to this HTML tags, I have some XML tags also. So in order to differentiate that name conflicts between the HTML and XML, I have created this XML namespace. And the name of the XML namespace I have given as XSL. So wherever you find XML tag, you can easily prefix this XML namespace to that. Okay. So the very first statement for creating XSL file is you have to create style sheet. Style sheet is the tag, and you have to mention what is the version, and you can mention the namespaces. The namespaces are again of two types. One is external namespaces and internal namespaces. External namespaces you have to write inside the style sheet tag, whereas internal namespaces you can write anywhere in the tag with respect to the particular tag. Suppose if I want to write a new namespace for this, yes, I can write, which we call it as an internal namespaces. You can write anywhere, not a problem. So now what I'll do is, the first thing is, as we have discussed in this paint, so you're going to create a table. I think all of you know how to create a table in HTML. Yeah, this is how you create. Before you create a template, you have to mention a tag called template. Template. Yeah, tag template. Template. So I'm starting with HTML body. So I'm writing some H2. Either so center lono top lono రావడానికి now I'm creating a table I'm creating with a border one, and I'm creating three th. One is title, artist and price. So ఇవి మీరు ఎలాగైనా క్రియేట్ చేయండి, it's not a problem. After that what you have to do is, we do not know how many records we have in this XML file. We didn't count them. So we do not know how many CD informations we have in this particular XML. So what I'll do is I'll simply create a for loop which the loop continuously executes until you find the last record of your XML. So this is how you simply write a for loop in XML file. Select for loop మనం ఎలా రాస్తాం, for I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to n, I increment. This is how we generally write, but here in XML we'll write for each. Select what you have to select. So there is a root tag called catalog, and inside that there is a child tag called cd. Inside this you have to search for the information. That is what the name, that is what you have written here. And moreover, this for each is not a HTML tag, this is an XML tag. So you are getting this XSL as a prefix. దీనికి XSL అనేది prefix గా వస్తుంది. So that is what I have told you. When you are including both HTML and XML in one particular file, then you have to differentiate them with the help of XML namespaces in order to avoid name conflicts. So now so we have created th title. So for this particular th you are going to create a td. So how we are going to create td? You are not going to write a static data. You're going to get the data from the XML file. So how to get the value from XML file? You have to write value of select title. So ఈ title ఎలా ఉందో చూడండి, capital letters లో ఉంది. You have to go to the CD and verify whether this title is in the capital letters or not. So it is a case sensitive programming. So select a title, and for this particular th, the artist, you're going to select the value of artist and the value of price. So you have to worry about this, whether the tags what you have written in CD as well as the XSL are same or not. Once you complete this, so you can include any number of columns, any number of table heads, table rows. So we totally have 1 2 3 4 5 6, so 6 ఉన్నాయి మన దగ్గర. You can create a 6 table heads and 6 table data, and you can fetch the values from XML and display it. So once the for loop is over, once the end of the catalog CD records is over, please end your for loop. Please end your table, body, HTML, and the template and the style sheet. So this is how you generally write an XSL. So writing, is there any confusion here? Is there any confusion? Any confusion till in XSL? Is there any doubt? Please ask me. Any doubt? So you're not going to write a static table. You're going to get the values. You're going to fetch the values from XML and display them in a table. So any doubts, please you can ask me a question. Any doubts? K naught, K naught, K naught, K0, K0. Okay. the waiting room. Next N6, 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 K1.
Sir, explain the paint concept, sir. So what you have told
Explain the
previously, what you have told in the paint
paint
format,
Okay.
explain that
Okay.
once again, sir.
సో నేను ఇక్కడ ఏం చెప్పానంటే నేనేం చేస్తానంటే ఎక్స్ఎంఎల్ డేటా మనం ఎలా రాస్తే అలా కనిపిస్తుంది, నాకు అలా కనిపించలేదు, అదొక టేబుల్ ఫార్మాట్లో కనిపించాలి నాకు. సో అదొక టేబుల్ ఫార్మాట్లో కనిపించాలంటే ఐ హ్యావ్ ఓన్లీ వన్ ఆప్షన్ కాల్డ్ హెచ్టిఎంఎల్. ఓన్లీ హెచ్టిఎంఎల్ కోడ్స్ రాస్తేనే అది టేబుల్ లాగా టేబుల్ క్రియేట్ చేయగలుగుతాం. దెర్ ఈస్ నో అదర్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ వేర్ యూ క్యాన్ క్రియేట్ ఆల్ దిస్. సో వాట్ ఐల్ డూ ఇస్ I'll create one XML file and I'll create one HTML file, but I'll not name it as .html. I'll name it as XSL అని నేమ్ చేస్తాను. సో నేను ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాను, I'll be creating an XML file, I'll create an HTML file. HTML ఫైల్లో నేను ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేస్తానంటే ఈ XML నాకు ఎలా కనిపించాలో అలా 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 చేస్తాను. సో ఫర్ దాట్ ఐఎమ్ రైటింగ్ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ కోడ్. సో ఎలా రాస్తాను, సో ఇక్కడ నేనేం చేశాను, ఐ హ్యావ్ క్రియేటెడ్ 3 rows, 3 headings ఇక్కడ రాస్తాను. One is title and this is for artist and this is for price. Okay, so that is the table I want to create. So I think all of you know how to create a table in HTML, and this is how you create a table. So this is all HTML, ఇదంతా కూడా HTML అని. So before you start writing this XSL file, so what are the essential things you need to know is you should know what is the namespace. Namespace ante ento teliyali. So what is the namespace? Whenever you write an XML file and HTML file in one single document, you have to tell the parser that this particular tag is an XML and this particular tag is an HTML. Okay, అలా చెప్పాలి. అలా చెప్పడానికి మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే we use a concept called XML namespace. So you'll write XML namespace and XSL. You can write anything here, not XSL. You can write P, Q, R, S, T, whatever you want. So when you are writing this XSL file, when you are writing this, I think you need every study K1. I think K1 నీకు XML రాయడం వచ్చు కదా?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So there is no issue with XML. సో మనం ఇక్కడ XSL ఒకటే చూద్దాం. సో ఇప్పుడు XSL ఏం చేస్తానంటే ఫస్ట్ ట్యాగ్ వచ్చేసి స్టైల్ షీట్ అనేది ట్యాగ్. ఇక్కడ నేను స్టైల్ షీట్కి XSL అని ఎందుకు ముందుగా ఇచ్చానంటే ఇది XML ఫైల్ కాబట్టి, ఇది XML ట్యాగ్ కాబట్టి నేను నేమ్ స్పేస్ అనేది ఒకటి క్రియేట్ చేసుకుంటాను. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనం సి సెక్షన్కి సి అని, డి సెక్షన్కి డి అని ఎలా డిఫరెన్షియేట్ చేస్తామో ఇక్కడ HTMLని XMLని నేను డిఫరెన్షియేట్ చేయడానికి నేను ఇలా రాసుకుంటాను అనమాట. సో ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళినా సరే మీరు సి సెక్షన్ అని చెప్పుకుంటారు, because your namespace is given like C section. Suppose if there is a D section student here, then he'll be given one more namespace called D. So that is the differentiation I'm going to show you between XML and HTML. So wherever you find XML tag, you will replace this. You will place this namespace. అదొకటి అర్థం చేసుకోండి, ట్రై చేయండి. నెక్స్ట్ స్టైల్ షీట్ వర్షన్ రాస్తాను. ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు క్రియేట్ దిస్ టేబుల్. ఈ టేబుల్ ఇలా క్రియేట్ చేయడానికి యూ హ్యావ్ టు యూజ్ అ ట్యాగ్ కాల్డ్ టెంప్లేట్ అనే ట్యాగ్ వాడాలి ఇలాగా. సో మ్యాచ్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ whatever the HTML file you write, you have to match accordingly. Match in the sense ఇక్కడ క్యాపిటల్ లెటర్స్ అంటే క్యాపిటల్ లెటర్స్ ఉండాలి, స్మాల్ లెటర్స్ అంటే స్మాల్ లెటర్స్ ఉండాలి, సింటాక్స్ కరెక్ట్గా రాయాలి. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ వీ కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ మ్యాచ్. ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్ నాట్ రైటింగ్ మ్యాచ్, యూ ఆర్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ దిస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్. సో ఐ థింక్ యూ నో హౌ టు క్రియేట్ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ టేబుల్. యూ నో టేబుల్ క్రియేషన్ ఎలా చేస్తాం, టేబుల్ అంటాం, బార్డర్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 1 అంటాం. సో ఎవ్రీథింగ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ ఇట్ ఇన్ TR ఫార్మాట్, ఈ టేబుల్ రో ఫార్మాట్లో రాయాలి. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ వీ హ్యావ్ డిస్కస్డ్ ఇన్ HTML. ఇస్ దట్ ఓకే? K1 ఓకే? అక్కడ వరకు ఓకే కదా?
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే. సో ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తా, HTML బాడీ టేబుల్ బార్డర్ తీసుకున్నాను, టేబుల్ రో ఇక్కడ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ కలర్ ఇచ్చాను. ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్ టు గివ్ దిస్, యూ కెన్ రిమూవ్ దిస్, నాట్ ఎ ప్రాబ్లం. TR, ఈ TRలో నేను ఏం చేస్తాను, ఇక్కడ టైటిల్ రావాలి, ఇక్కడ ఆర్టిస్ట్ రావాలి, ఇక్కడ ప్రైస్ రావాలి అని రాసుకుంటాను. దట్ ఈస్ ద కోడ్ ఐఎమ్ రైటింగ్ హియర్. TR, TH title, TH artist, TH price, TR. So this TR is over, this TR is over. Now I want the information here. ఇక్కడ మనం ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ రాయడానికి మనం ఏం చేస్తాం, జనరల్లీ TD అని రాసేసి స్టాటిక్గా రాస్తాం. కానీ ఇక్కడ నేను TD అని రాయను. ఈ XML ఫైల్లో ఏదైతే డేటా ఉందో దాన్ని ఇక్కడికి తీసుకురావడానికి ట్రై చేస్తాను. సో హౌ డూ యూ ట్రై దట్? యూజింగ్ అ ఫర్ లూప్. ఒక ఫర్ లూప్ రాస్తాం. ఎలా రాస్తాం బాబు? దెర్ ఇస్ అ ఫైల్. ఓకే, ఆ ఫైల్ ఎలా ఉంది ఏంటి తర్వాత చూద్దాం. దెర్ ఇస్ అన్ XML ఫైల్ where the root tag is catalog and where the chain tag is cd. In that you have a title, you have artist, you have price. ఇవన్నీ కూడా td లో ఇలా పెట్టండి. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ వి జనరల్లీ రైట్ దిస్ ఫర్ లూప్. ఈ ఫర్ లూప్ అర్థమైంది? ఇట్స్ వెరీ సింపుల్. యూ రైట్ 100 ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ ద సేమ్ కోడ్. k1 is okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
ఏం లేదు, జస్ట్ ఫర్ లూప్ రాస్తున్నాను, సి పర్టికులర్ రూట్ ట్యాగ్ రాస్తున్నా, చైల్డ్ ట్యాగ్ రాస్తున్నా. మనకి ఏమేమి ట్యాగ్స్ కావాలి? ఇక్కడ నాకు టైటిల్, ఆర్టిస్ట్, ప్రైస్ ఉంది. నాకు ఇది కాదు, నాకు ఇది కావాలి సార్, కంపెనీ కావాలి, కంట్రీ కావాలి. ఎస్, యూ కెన్ రైట్ దాట్ ఆల్సో. యూ కెన్ రైట్ సెలెక్ట్ ఇస్ ఈక్వల్ టు కంట్రీ, సెలెక్ట్ ఇస్ ఈక్వల్ టు production, whatever you want you can write. But the particular tag case sensitivity you have to identify whether it is a lower case letters or upper case letters. That is the problem you generally assign. And the proper right. So this is the for loop you could write. We writing this for loop, what will happen? Whatever the XML data you have, that will have HTML and displayed here. ఇక్కడ ఇంకొక ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది. ఇంకొక separate file